Good morning, students. It's a pleasure to have you back in our English class. All of us love to gaze at the moon in the night sky. It looks wonderful in the dark sky with the stars twinkling around it. We also know that there are different phases of the moon. The different shapes of the bright portion of the moon that can be seen from the earth are known as the phases of the moon. In the poem The Silver House, the poet John Lee talks about the phases of the moon by comparing it with a silver house. Let us read the poem together.
The Silver House. There's a silver house in the lovely sky, as round as a silver crown. It takes 2 weeks to build it up and 2 to pull it down. There's a man who lives in the silver house, in a lonely sort of way. But what his name is no one knows, or no one likes to say. Yet when you go to bed tonight, just draw the window blind and peep out at the silver moon, this lonely man to find. But if his house is taken down and all the sky is bare, then go to bed because, of course, the poor man won't be there.
There is a silver house in the lovely sky, as round as a silver crown. It takes 2 weeks to build it up and 2 to pull it down. The poet John Lee indirectly compares the moon with a silver house. He also compares the circular shape of the moon with a silver crown. Children, the word crown here refers to a silver coin that was used in England many years ago. Further, the 2 weeks' time taken by the house to be built up or pulled down refers to the waxing and the waning phases of the moon. In the waxing phase, over the period of 14 days, the moon slowly develops from new moon to crescent to half moon and then to the full moon. And similarly, in the waning phase, the full moon slowly becomes smaller and smaller until it goes back to the new moon stage. Now let's look at the rhyming words of the first stanza. Crown rhymes with down. Now let us understand the rhyme scheme. The first line ends with the word sky. Let us mark it as A. Now look at the second line. The second line ends with the word crown. Let us mark it as B. The third line ends with the word up. Now let us mark it as C. And the fourth line ends with the word down, which rhymes with the word crown. So mark it as B. So the rhyme scheme of the first stanza is AB, CB. There is a man who lives in the silver house in a lonely sort of way. But what his name is no one knows or no one likes to say. When people see the spots on the surface of the moon, they imagine that it's a human face or figure of man who lives on the moon. The poet too says that there is a man who lives in the silver house, that is, on the moon, and he looks lonely. No one knows his name or likes to say what it is. Let's look at the rhyming words, children. Here the word way rhymes with say. So the rhyme scheme again will be ABCB. Yet when you go to bed tonight, just draw the window blind and peep out at the silver moon this lonely man to find. The poet tells us how we can see the man on the moon. He asks us to secretly look outside from the curtains of the window in order to find that lonely man on the moon. But if his house is taken down and all the sky is bare, then go to bed because of course the poor man won't be there. The poet also reminds us that if it is a no moon day, we will not be able to see the man or his silver house. Let's look at the rhyming words. In the third stanza, blind rhymes with find. So, the rhyme scheme is A B C B again. Similarly, in the last stanza, bear rhymes with there. And the rhyme scheme of this stanza too is ABCB. So, children, tell me, will you try to peep out of your window to see the silver house and the man living in it tonight? That's all for today, children. Now open to a fresh page of your notebook. Write today's date in the margin and the name of the poem as the heading. Write down the meanings of new words, rhyming words, rhyme scheme of the poem given in the PDF file neatly in your notebook. Thank you, children.